Welcome back, Time to Shine. Time right now for some palm readings with our resident bracket guru, the great Jerry Palm. And Jerry, let's focus this segment on the bubble, starting with my alma mater. I mean, I still can't believe what happened to my Orange, losing a heartbreaker today, literally at the buzzer against UVA, a great Tony Bennett team. Listen, I think Syracuse looks like a tournament team, feels like a tournament team. Jerry Palm, tell me, my Orange making March Madness.
That's a definite maybe. I give them about a 50-50 shot. I think, though, it was important that they look good today against the top team in the ACC because you take a team like, for example, St. Louis, who went out badly in their conference tournament. I think there is something to be said for looking like a tournament team at this time of year when these fine decisions are being made. Syracuse, their problem was not getting the big win away from home this year. They did beat NC State away from home, obviously, in this tournament, and they beat them on the road in the regular season. We'll have to wait and see if a 3-8 record away from the Carrier Dome is okay for this committee with a pretty good performance against Virginia today.
Absolutely. Buddy Boeheim was on fire, and I think we're going to make it when it's all said and done. And how about what transpired, Jerry, last night? This does help Syracuse. I thought this was a back-breaking loss for Xavier, who fell to Butler last night. Are the Musketeers cooked?
Yeah, I think it's going to be hard-pressed for Xavier to get in at this point. They were really hurt by their COVID pause in mid-January into mid-February. They worked in a game with Butler in the middle of that they won, but after that they lost 6 out of 8, and 5 of those 6 losses are to teams that probably are not going to the NCAA tournament. The Butler loss, the worst of those losses to end the season. Xavier just couldn't put anything together in the last half of this season, and because they played so few games, each of these losses is more damaging, and they didn't do enough to make up for it. Home wins over Creighton and Oklahoma, probably not going to get the job done for Xavier.
Jerry, how about North Carolina? They match up with Virginia Tech in the ACC quarterfinal tonight. Are their Tar Heels tournament chances looking up here?
Yeah, I like North Carolina's chances after winning last night, which wasn't so much as the importance of winning as it was the importance of not losing and taking a bad loss to a team like Notre Dame. I don't think now losing to Virginia Tech hurts North Carolina that much. The win over Florida State was important for them earlier in the season, and it gave them a cushion for when they lost to Marquette. So North Carolina should be okay. They're playing to maybe try and get higher up the bracket, but right now they're a bottom half of the bracket team, and I don't really think that they can get much higher than an 8-9 game.
I'm fascinated to get your take on Louisville. Louisville's season is over after that loss to Duke last night. Simply put, will Louisville make the NCAA tournament?
I believe so, but they'll be a double-digit seed. The difference between Louisville's resume and North Carolina's resume, other than North Carolina played more games because Louisville had a COVID pause, is that win over Florida State for North Carolina. Louisville doesn't have a game like that. They don't have very many losses. They have one bad loss, but that's it. They swept Duke in the regular season. They beat Georgia Tech and Virginia Tech. So I think Louisville's going to make it, but they're probably not going to get a great seed.
Jerry, pair of bubble teams on CBS Sports Network coming up here in a little bit. Does Utah State still have some work to do to get into the tournament?
Yeah, in fact, of the 4 Mountain West teams, they're the one I don't currently have in the bracket. And the reason for that is 2 bad losses. They lost at UNLV in the regular season, and they're playing them at UNLV again tonight. And then a loss to South Dakota State in non-conference play. So 2 quad 3 losses. They haven't really done enough to make up for that yet. I think they certainly have to win this game to avoid another bad loss, and then maybe win one more to give themselves a real good chance to make the tournament.
Jerry, how about Colorado State's chances of making the big dance?
Yeah, Colorado State's resume is kind of inoffensive. They split all 3 series with the other contenders in this league, and 2 of those were on the road splits. So that's good. They also lost to Nevada late in the regular season. They lost to St. Mary's badly in non-conference play. So they don't have a great record against the top 2 quadrants. But if they can avoid a bad loss and Fresno State would be a bad loss for them. If they can avoid that, then I think Colorado State will crawl onto the bottom of the bracket somewhere.
Moving away from the bubble, Jerry, for a second, I really want to get your take on a team that I like a lot, Oklahoma State. Big win over West Virginia today. What's their seeding look like as we get closer to Selection Sunday?
Well, after today, they'll probably be a 3. Kind of have to wait because there's a bunch of games in that part of the bracket still being played today. And then, of course, they'll continue to play, and some of those teams will continue to play as well. Their ceiling is probably a 2. If they win the Big 12 tournament, they probably will be a 2. They don't really think they're in play for the 4th 1 seed. I just think they're too far away from that. But they're really coming on strong at a good time. They've got one of the best players in the country in Cade Cunningham. And we have seen teams ride a guy like him deep into March. So maybe Oklahoma State will be that team this year.
I love it. Jerry, you're the best. We appreciate the time. Enjoy the ball games tonight here on CBS Sports Network.